Set and ready to go to the airport to get to the first flight. I'm gonna actually have 3 flights until I get to China. So it's currently around 5 o'clock in the morning and we are making our way to the coach station to take a bus to the airport. So catch you later. It has already been 12 hours of traveling, but I've only taken 1 flight, but I've been up since 3 a.m. so it's probably that's why I'm so tired. So now I just have to wait for my next flight to Poland, where I take my flight to China. So I finally arrived at the gate for the Warsaw's flight, from where I'm going to change to Beijing. Okay. So we finally arrived at the comfort camp in Beijing, and I just got set into my room after I was picked up from the airport. And I have to say that it's really lovely, it's really big and airy, and the camp it's really beautiful from as much as I could see, and I'm really excited to take some rest now and then get to see a bit around. So I think I'm going to show you just a bit around my room. Hello there, now it's the next day after arriving here. I finally kind of settled down because I could definitely feel the jet lag. But now that I'm more awake and rested, I will tell you a bit about the traveling experience all the way from Romania to China. So, because it was kind of eventful, my journey, as you might have heard, consisted of 3 flights. On the first flight that went okay from Cluj to Bucharest, that was basically nothing to worry about. But things started to get a bit more complicated once I got on the second flight from Bucharest to Warsaw, just because the flight was delayed by 1 hour, which would have meant that we would not have made the connection to arrive in China. Even though I arrived in Warsaw late, the plane that I was supposed to take to come all the way to China was hauled at the ground until all the passengers that had to make the connection got in. So it was kind of a crazy check-in process once we have landed in Warsaw, because we had to run through the airport, we had to run through security, where obviously there was not only me that has to do the connection, there were other passengers that had to catch a flight to America or Canada as well. So that process was a bit nerve-wracking. But once I got through the security, I just, as never, sprinted through the airport corridors and got to the terminal, where nobody else was waiting outside the gate apart from 2 flight attendants that quickly checked my documents, and then I sprinted through the air bridge and got to the plane. This time the journey to China was kind of similar to the last one that I took last year, just because again I had the last seat in the airplane. But This trip was kind of a bit more special just because I was sitting next to another person that was flying also to Beijing, but usually I never make friends on a plane. But weirdly enough, at some point on the flight, I started chatting with this person that now helps me whether I need something or to learn something how to say in Chinese. So I guess that my trip to China has already started on the right foot, and I'm happy to have already made a friend, even right from the plane. Even though this could be categorized as a positive experience, I would say that the only part that I disliked was the food on the plane, just because I was not really able to eat anything, just because it was not something that would really made me enjoy the food. But regardless, it was a nice trip. Then I got to the Beijing airport, which is pretty big compared to other airports that I flied on. You even have to take a train to transfer from the arrivals to the terminal where you pick up the luggage. Luckily, everything was on time. I got the luggage fairly quick, and then I was picked up from the airport. And now I got to the camp, which is situated in a fairly quiet area in Beijing. As a fun fact, Beijing is divided into 6 circles. This one is somewhere in the 3rd circle, so luckily there's no so much pollution. And one thing that I noticed, even from the first moment that I got here, is just the fact that the sky is so blue, which you would not really think of when you think that there is pollution here. But the sky is fairly blue. Today it's really hot. Yesterday was not as hot. It's already afternoon here, but I'm starting to recover from jet lag, so I'm not feeling as tired. Tomorrow is the day when I'm going to be picked up by my host family.